So this is going to be the weekly reading for the air signs. So welcoming in all of the air sign placements. So if you have prominent Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. And I told the other two readings, the other two signs, that I wasn't going to do the in-depth astrology for this week. I have been doing the astrology the last 2 or 3 weekly readings, and I just made a decision that I am not ready to incorporate the astrology yet. Although I am an astrologer and I do follow the astrology on a daily basis. It's a way of life for me for over 20 years already. It's just different incorporating it into the video and creating video content around the astrology, if that makes sense. So someday I know that I will get back to it. It's just I am not there at this time, and I don't want to rush myself. My channel is still a little young, so I think it's okay for me to just sort of step back a little and slow it down. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to reference astrology at some point throughout the tarot readings that I have been doing. So that being said, just want to remind everyone that today is the new moon in Cancer. So happy new moon in Cancer, everyone. And also the nodes of the moon changed into Aries and Libra today at 3 o'clock Central, around there. So this is something that we've been waiting for. I did speak to this energy during the July zodiac reading. So if you haven't seen those, go to the channel, take a look at those. I do go more into depth around the full moon, the new moon, as well as these the nodal change that's happening this month. The other thing I want to mention is later this week, July 21st to 22nd, the Sun in Cancer will be opposing Pluto in Capricorn retrograde. Just giving everyone a heads up that, this week may be a pretty heavy week for some people, whether it's yourself or someone that you know. You may be seeing someone go through a lot this week. There are more aspects and transits happening that are going to play into this, but this is like the peak of it. And, on top of the Sun in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, this transit is also going to be squaring the nodes that just moved, right? So the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. So there's going to be a grand square here. And as we know with squares, there is challenging energy. So there's some squares, there's some oppositions, so it's not the easiest week. You may see someone, or you may be going through a moment of catharsis here, where it has to do with a breakdown of something very important to you, something that you have been involved in, or a way of life or a way of being for a very, very long time that is no longer suitable for the lifestyle that you live now, or for the human being that you evolved into. It could be anything, right? It just depends on where this energy falls in your birth chart. I mean, it could be something around identity. It could be something about relationships, family, and home or work, right? It could be about your environment, or, I don't know, your psychological state or your health, right? So it just depends. But either way, it is for the sake of balancing something out, for the sake of creating something better, getting this big, heavy, no longer valuable, that doesn't add something to your life, like getting it out of the way already. You've probably felt that there is a way of being, a way of living. Maybe it's a job that you're in, the relationship you're in, where you live, the city, the state you live at, something like that, that it's just like, I cannot be here anymore, right? I cannot do this anymore. I cannot be this way. I cannot act like this. Like, this was me 10 years ago. This was me 5 years ago. That's where I was before. Like, I'm not that person anymore. Why am I still acting this way? Why am I still going through this? Why am I still in this situation, circumstance, relationship type of thing? So I think you've already known that this has to go. For some people, if you're good with change, and if you're good with seeing these parts of your life and actually doing something about it, this probably will not hit you as bad. But if you're resistant to change, you're attached, you like to hold on to things, you don't like to really make moves, this is probably going to come in interference with those parts of yourself. I also want to add that if you have strong Cancer, Aries, Capricorn, or Libra placements, this may be affecting you more so than others. Or if you have placements in the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house, this is also going to affect you. And to go even more specific, if you have any planets in the 29th degree of the cardinal houses, especially, or just the 29th degree in general, it might affect you more so, and personally, like really, you know, like very triggering to you. So if you get that deep down to it, to where you're at, like, yes, I'm at a, like, for instance, I'm at a 29 degree Libra Pluto, right? So in the first house, so I have all of those concepts, I have all of that, all of those check boxes. So I mean, I won't go into what I'm going through, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty big. So, you know, it's just something to brace yourself for. And yeah, I mean, just dig into that new moon in Cancer energy this week. Even though it's happening today on Monday, you know, you can still set some intention for love and nurturing and compassion and empathy, and, you know, just a sense of trusting and having faith with this Cancer energy, you know, to pray and set some intentions that everything will be okay and everything will turn out the way it's supposed to turn out, and you'll be good, right? But yeah, just something to look out for. It could be minor for most of us, right? There's billions of people in this world. I'm sure not every single one of us is going to go through something huge, but you know, there are some cases where some people may be really, really going through it this week. So you just want to, you know, if it's not you and you're witnessing it, you know, just have some compassion and try to be of some sort of support system for them. Anyway, all right, so let's get started. Let's go into the tarot reading, and let's see where the air signs are at this week as it relates to their personal energy. So air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What is the personal energy for you for the week of July 17th, please? Hold on, I don't know if I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. 1 second. Okay. Where are we at? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's sit into it. What is happening with the air signs? All right. Let's see. Air signs, please, the week of July 17th. Too many cards. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. So this is very much your energy. No. The Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords. All right. What is happening here? You are observing, intensely observing something. You cannot get your eyes off of this thing. You're going into depth here. You're digging in. You are looking for something that's missing, a missing element, a missing piece. You are communicating with people, trying to get information out of them. You may be coming across different people as well. Like a few different sides to you that you feel that you have to put on in order to gain some insight and some facts or some truth from different people or different groups. There's a quickness, very, very quick mental energy. It's very Gemini here. Cleverness going on. I want to say you're coming off as trustworthy, even though I hesitate to say that because the Seven of Swords is here. So something's happening. I'm trying to sit into it, though. It's like you look trustworthy. You come across trustworthy. You are building trust with people. You are building bonds with somebody, with a group. But yes, at the same time, you are showing up. You are showing up differently with different individuals based off of what you think and how you think that you need to be, right? So like based off of who you're dealing with, you're going to sort of mirror what you think they need from you in order for them to trust you, if that makes sense. There is definitely something you want to get to the bottom of, though, that's for sure. There's something that you don't know. There's something that's hidden. There's an aspect that is just like eluding you, and it may be driving you to the point of obsession, like obsessing over getting to the bottom of the situation this week. It's almost like, I will do whatever you want. Just give me the answer. You know, like you're going to people like, just tell me. Tell me what it is. Tell me what you know. You know, I'll do anything. I'll do anything, right? Like trying to do like this whole back and forth of like, if you tell me something, I will tell you something. It does have to do with like something that it's taking its sweet time to manifest. I feel that whatever it is, it's like highly valued and wanted by many. So whatever this thing is, it could be a person, place, thing. It's like wanted. Like a lot of people see this thing or this person and they admire it and they want it for themselves, but there's no attaining it. And maybe that's why you are obsessing. I'm also getting this feeling of like it being a game, or like, I don't know why I'm thinking game show, but like it being like several contestants, right? Like sort of desperate to win this thing that everybody wants. So if you're not on a game show, you are acting like you are, or there's some sort of dynamic in your environment with people acting this way. I don't know what this is, but we will see. That's interesting. It's kind of fun. All right. You want to know something, or you want to gain something, you want to get a hold of something, you want to be the winner, and you are researching and doing everything that you can to come out on top, to win this thing, to get this thing. It may have to do with a love interest. Maybe you feel like you're in competition with other people for a person's attention. But that's like very basic of a situation. But I mean, hey, you may be going through it. In your environment, you have the Page of Emotions, the Page of Cups. You also have the Four of Voices, which is the Four of Swords. And you also have the Ten of Wands. So in your environment, there's an element of someone or something being tiring. I don't know if you tire yourself out or you're getting tired of this thing. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, it takes forever. Like, you could be, you know, if this is a person and you are trying to get the attention of a person, or you're trying to be with the person or something like that, which I don't know, because this is your personal energy. So maybe you're the one that people are trying to attract. I'm not sure. But there's an element of timing with the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slowest knight of the deck, right? Like, it takes a long time for something. When the Knight of Pentacles comes through, there's an element of like, crap. You know, like whatever this is, you already know that it's going to take forever. So you can be getting tired or burnt out at some point this week, or someone may be tired or burnt out. Has to do with some type of heartfelt situation. Maybe you have a crush on somebody, you like somebody, you have this new love. It doesn't have to be a person, but it could be like a passion or an interest. You know, I'm feeling music also. When I do the weekly readings, I don't really like dive deep into them unless the reading calls for it. So like the cards are telling me. I usually try to keep it very 3D, very mundane, very daily type of, like trying to sit into your daily life. So it could be like something like you're listening to music and you're unwinding. You could find a new genre of music, a new band or group that you like, and you're getting to know everything about it, right? Like you're obsessed over it. And it's allowing you to get away from some of the things that you are going through. So it's a little bit of a distraction, but at the same time it's healing. Because maybe you've been going through a moment of like just a lot happening, right? Like you're over all the things going on, like all the heaviness that has maybe come through recently in your life, something like that. And so you just want to like chill. But if it's not music, it could be something like that. Something that you feel is very therapeutic for you. Could be like some type of healing. You know, like taking, what do they call it? Sound baths, or just because she's in the water here. But she's actually in the, it looks like she's in the water, but she's in the universe. She's in the sky. Okay, let's see what's coming through for the air signs for the week. Let's go into the details. Let's start off with the beginning of the week, please. Ooh, you have the Hanged Man, so you could probably be dealing with an earth sign, or you have prominent earth placements. Just because the earth reading had the Hanged Man 3 times come out. And they also had the moon. I did shuffle. Let me shuffle some more. Alright, yeah, so air sign, you're also stepping back here. You're stepping back and you are needing to see something from a different perspective. There's an element of the unknown, like I was picking up in your personal energy. You don't know something. You don't know all of the answers to something. There's missing pieces. Like things are just not adding up. There's like an instinct that you have that something is off. And you're just like, okay, hold on. Like, hold on. Let me stop what I'm doing. You know, like if you're on course with the situation or with the person, you're just like, hold on. Like, let me just step back. And I need space. I need time, you know, to really like sink into this and dive in and see things differently, see things from all angles. Come up with what's missing. There's something missing here. It's almost like the feeling of you're going, and you're on autopilot until finally you realize, like you've known that you've been on autopilot. But something happens this week where you're just like, okay, I need to stop, right? Like I need to stop this now and figure my shit out. Because whatever it is, it's not doing it for you anymore. Which is very similar to the astrology that I was speaking about. What else, please? For the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For the week of July 17th. Beautiful. The sun. Both luminaries coming out here. Stopping because you're realizing, like, where's my joy? Where's my sun? Where's my life? Where's my, you know, optimism and positivity and blessings and happiness and joyfulness, and where's all that stuff at? You know, like, maybe it's been a little bit dark and you're just like, hey, like, what's happening here? I feel that very strongly, you know, like, you notice that maybe you've been sort of, what do they call it? Like, you've just been on, like I said, autopilot, but also, like, everything's just been happening. Like, if it's not one thing, it's another, and things are hard and they're not easy, and it's like, when is it going to be my time? You know, like, what am I doing wrong that I am not attracting the light here? What am I doing wrong that I feel like I am not fulfilled right now? When is it my turn? What do I have to do differently? I have to make a choice. With the Hangman, there's sacrificing something for the sake of something you want, but also here's the choice with the Two of Wands to make that sacrifice and to actually do it. There's also a really good balance of light and dark, of positive, negative here with the sun and the moon, of internal, external, of instinct and intuition. So there's some good alignment here, and I think you're on the right track, air sign. What else, please? Midweek, you have the devil showing up. The earth sign had that as well. It's somewhere in their reading. Page of Wands. You be tempted. Something's going to come up midweek that's going to tempt you. Tempt you for a good time, feels like. I'm not against the devil. Sometimes in some readings it comes out and I make it seem like I am, but I'm really not. Just depends on how you're using it. I mean, this could be a chance for you to unwind. Yes. This could be a chance for you to connect with your passion, connect with the sensual, sexual, even if it's like another person coming through. If that's what you want and you are in a healthy frame of mind, you have a really strong, healthy heart, you know, you're not coming from any like emotional baggage or low self-esteem, low self-worth or whatever, you can easily go in and have a good time with this devil. All right? I mean, we're talking about a week span here. You know, it's not like the rest of your life. So you're tempted to have a good time, it seems like. But you have to be careful, you know, where do you stand in your process at that time? Can you afford to do that? Are you in control enough of yourself to do that? Do you know yourself well enough to do that, right? Are you healthy enough to do that? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You have the World. Cycle's ending here. For some of you, you can't afford to have a good time with the devil this week, because there's a cycle that you may have gone through with the devil. The Hermit comes up just like the earth sign. Air and earth this week have something going on together. Okay. Cycle's ending, and the opportunity to choose the higher road, the opportunity to choose something of like just sit into your wisdom, right? Like learn from your experiences, right? So there's a cycle ending, there's an accumulation point here, a peak point where something has come to a close, and you can either go another round or you can end it once and for all. And the cards are asking you to end it once and for all, and to just take what you've learned. Take what you've learned and continue on to the next chapter. There's a reason why you stopped in your tracks. There's a reason why you started to realize that you're in pursuit of your joy, of your bliss, of your love, of your light. And if you continue on this cycle here with this devil, which is some sort of temptation that you have, you know, you're not going to be able to get there, right? And so you have to listen to the hermit in you that knows better. What else at the end of the week, please? You have the Emperor and the Star. Whoa, these are big. So by the end of the week, either an Emperor shows up, which is something that you've been asking for, or you are the Emperor. Either way, there's a sense of being in control and sitting in your power. Having faith that you will get what you want by your hard work and your will and your power to set forth the intention and follow through with action. It's like being smart and knowing that if you want something, you got to be smart, right? Like, you got to take the action. You have to have the good plan. It has to be something that's feasible also, you know, that's realistic even. But you just have to be in control of yourself. If you really are what is the word? Determined and serious. There you go. If you're serious about following through this plan, or whatever the sun is to you. The sun is the goal here, okay? You have the Four of Wands. Big cards. Big week for you guys. Here you have your court card, the Queen of Swords here. Usually it's Libra, but we're discussing all air signs. But yeah, there's a sense of someone coming in that is in control, in authority, has some power, is able to provide you with something that you really want, something that you really need. If it's not an external person, it is you being in control and providing it for yourself. It's happiness, it's joy, it's celebration, it's positivity, and it's alignment with this Queen of Swords here, being very, very clear in her mind, he or she, of what it is that they want. And by the end of the week, it's like you get a little taste of that maybe. I think for the air signs, your catharsis moment, if we're speaking of the astrology, has to do with identity and personal wants. Like, right? Like, it doesn't seem too materialistic. It doesn't seem like out in the 3D. It feels more personal. Like fulfillment, right? Like, what is not fulfilling you, and then like going toward what does, or what would fulfill you. Contentment, right? Filling that missing piece that you were looking for in your with your personal energy here. Like getting a taste of it and being like, hey, like, I like this. This is how I want to live. This is how I want to be. This is, you know, who I want to be. Something like that. And going for it, you know. And just trying to overcome this devil, this temptation that comes through in the middle of the month. I mean, why do I keep saying month? Week. All right, let's see what the devil is, though. I feel like the beginning of the week I have a really pretty good idea. Let's go into the temptation and the good time. So you have the Death card. I heard temptation to ruin it. Jeez. You have the Hierophant. Yeah, going back to the earth. There's something about you and earth. Temptation to have a rebirth of some sort. If this is a person, it could be a person. There's a temptation to do it again and start this cycle again with this person. If it's not a person, it is I'm sorry, my doorbell just rang. 1 second. Sorry about that. So, if this is not a person, it could be temptation to go back to a job that wasn't fulfilling, temptation to go back to a relationship even that wasn't fulfilling, something that's already been done and over with. There's an opportunity to recreate it, but it's coming in the form of the devil here. These are really good cards, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like, these are powerful players in the deck. Okay, and usually the Hierophant is coming from a high moralistic, ethical place. Something of commitment and that is materialized in the 3D. If it relates to a person or a relationship, there's commitment, there's loyalty, there's devotion, there's, you know, like, it's a good energy, but I just don't know why it's coming through with the devil. So temptation to go back to a marriage, temptation to go back to a commitment, temptation to go back and redo this cycle again. And you know what's best for you, right? You know how much work you've done. You're reassessing. You're stepping back with the Hanged Man energy. You're seeing things from a different perspective. You're making a decision to change something and sacrifice something in your life or about yourself in order to get your happiness. So once this temptation comes through, and it does make you feel good, and it makes you feel alive again and youthful again and passionate and enthusiastic again, and it's like, okay, it could be a new cycle if you come at it differently, right? If you come at it from a more wise place. I don't want to be the reader that's just like, oh, the devil's here, so therefore, like, you better not do it and blah blah blah. It's freedom of choice, obviously, but temptation coming through, even a higher evolved healthy person that is doing the work can feel tempted and can feel passionate and can feel like they need to express energy and release, you know, energy and intertwine or whatever, right? Like with this Page of Wands here. But that what I'm trying to say is, you know what's best for you, you know. The devil is here and with the Page of Wands to show you that this is something that makes you feel really good. And for whatever reason, you or others may see it as toxic, but that is all in relation to your projections, your behaviors, how you approach this type of situation. Seeing it from a different perspective may change the devil from being toxic into passion, toxic into what is the word, like complete freedom, right? Because with the devil, that's one of the biggest descriptions of it, is that it frees us from our mental constraints, that society, that our parents, that our upbringing, that our environment, that whatever, right? All like your lifetime up until this moment has told you you have to be this certain way, and you work on your life to be this certain way. And there's a lot of mental prison that comes with that we place on ourselves. The devil comes in to free us from that, right? Yes, it can bring destructive behavior, low-level behavior, depending on how it's placed and with what cards. But first, like the Death card and the Hierophant card here is your saving grace of like, I don't feel completely confident and bought into the fact that this devil is bad for your situation. I feel that there's an opportunity to see this from a different perspective. It doesn't have to be frowned upon. It can be worked with, right? It doesn't have to be toxic. It can be freedom, if that makes sense. But only you will know that if you stay in that higher self from the wise experience place. If you come from a low level place, I don't see a lot of low level except here for the Seven of Voices. But even then, it's just too distant and too detached from this over here that I don't think it's playing a role. But use your discernment, of course. All right. Either way, either way, what was I gonna say? Either way, dang, I lost it. Now I'm getting this element of just like you being your own self enemy, if that makes sense. Like you going against yourself. And yeah, it goes back to seeing things a different perspective, because the Hierophant is also our inner morals, right? So are you going against yourself here? Yeah, so essentially freeing yourself from these mental constraints, ending some of these cycles to be more authentic and in line with who you are at your core. So there's an opportunity in the middle of the week for you to identify some of this. Like maybe something happens that makes you stop and reflect on this. But for some of you, it is a person that is tempting you. Someone that's coming with like stability and security and commitment and all of that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And then this happens with the Emperor. Just be careful with who you're surrounding yourself with. Be careful with people's intentions, and also be careful with your own intentions, because you have the Seven of Swords in your personal energy, and the Seven of Swords is coming up here at the bottom. Like, you start playing games with the Devil and the Hierophant, forget it. Forget it, air sign. What are you doing? You don't play, like, you'll get deep in it. Like, you're gonna go up against the Hierophant and the Devil. You know, what does that say? Like, you're starting to play games with that because you're an Emperor and you feel super confident and super in control. You just want to have fun or whatever, right? Like with this Page of Wands here. Stay true, stay authentic, stay high. Look at the long term, look at the big picture here. Something, I don't know, I can't like really be confident and say I know what this is. I'm getting like different hits on it and what it could be, but there's something that's missing from it, and it's super powerful. Like, it feels big here, super powerful, whatever these three are coming through together. Like, they're in cahoots. The Death, the Hierophant, and the Devil. They're like a team coming through to like tempt you, to see how strong you are, to see how you'll respond. Are you going to submit to game playing and low tactics? I understand an Emperor is powerful, but not with the Seven of Swords. Star is clarified by the King of Swords, which is the counterpart to the Queen of Swords. Yeah, someone's coming in to break something down. Maybe this game that sort of you're playing a little bit as you've been, remember the game show, right? The game show. You are, there's a breakdown happening at the end here. The game you're playing, you may be winning. You may have people on your side, but something happens that breaks down, and it could be because of the games. Like, there could be some deceit, some lies, some manipulation here. I'm also feeling like too arrogant and too controlling. I don't know if this is you or not. I'm so sorry. I keep having to apologize in how I'm coming across. I am very direct. I cannot help but say what is coming through, right? Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat your reading. I'm so sorry. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I'm, you know, if it triggers, it's not personal. It's all for the sake of growth and identifying behaviors. Whatever happens at the end of the week is like going to put an instability or a shake to some sort of foundation, and it's going to cause some anxiety. So that's why I'm saying, like, try to keep high, okay? Try to be ethical. Try to make the right choice, the right decision. This is not a week to be taking for granted. Every choice we make this week, we cannot take it for granted. We don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know the outcome of it. You have the Four of Wands twice. This is something with your foundation as it relates to your home and your family. A shake-up there. Be honest, be true. Truth coming out about someone in your family, someone in your home, about your home, some sort of like what you once thought was a joyful, happy place. There's a shake-up around that. It's going to cause some anxiety. But I think afterward you'll be clear about why it happened and what you have to do. Like this anxiety, it's probably just the fear. It's not, I don't think it's going to be the action, like something actually happening. I think it's more of a fear. And based off of this thing, and you get a taste of the fear. So therefore you're going to come up with a way to be like, okay, that's not going to happen. I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? Like, just giving an example. And you know, I don't want to cause any triggers to anybody, but just giving an example since it has to do with the home, right? Like, let's just say what is this? Like, I don't know. There's almost a fire in your house, right? Like, you started a little fire or something like that. And you got scared. There's fear, right? So therefore, it's gonna cause you to be more safe and put in safety stuff in your house, right? To prevent fires or to alarm you or something like that. Let's say that it has to do with your home too. Like, let's just say you're gonna, I don't know, you're on the verge of getting evicted or something like that, but it doesn't happen, but you feel fear that it will happen for whatever reason, and it's going to trigger a change for you to make. Like, okay, well, I don't want to feel that again, so I'm going to make sure that, you know, I don't know, the lease is up to date, or you move into a location where it's more stable and it's not like up in the air as far as, you know, whether or not you can stay or go, right? Like, you're making moves to prevent something that you fear, if that makes sense. But it does have to do with the home environment. All right. I don't know if that helped or not. I hope it did. I mean, this is a big week, so big readings coming through that you know, so many people can be feeling it different ways, and I was trying to pick up on the different ways, right? The only thing I can say is just be careful with how you are acting and come from a good place at all times. Just make sure you're coming from a good place, and there's an opportunity for you to find your light and your happiness here if you step back and reassess your behaviors and some of the things that you've been doing. If you come with arrogance and you come with like game playing, something's gonna crumble. So you want to be careful with that. All right, hope this helped. Like the video, please. It does help the video circulate. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. I would love to have you there. Look out for the rest of the readings in the future, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.